right, go ahead, Nick. Get us started here. I'm throw up a screen while you're talking.
All right, awesome. Sounds good. All right, good evening, everyone. Thank you guys for coming to our kickoff for our 2023 Tendon event. As Dwayne said, my name is Nick Hope. Some of you guys might recognize me if you are part of our Tendon last year. I am your 10 master this year, same as last year. And again, I'm happy to be hosting this year. I had a lot of fun doing it last year. Looking forward to having a lot of fun doing it this year as well. And hopefully we can hit our goal, which we'll get into a little bit later. Dwayne, are you good for the video?
I
Start
am.
us off. All right, sounds good.
Oh, shoot.
Maybe not.
Maybe not.
All good. Doesn't like you recording and playing at the same time, I guess.
No. I needed to click the little box.
Frontier District for Hawk Mountain Council. I grew up a scout, so when I met and married
Is everybody
Eagle
hearing
Scout,
that now?
we knew that our children would
Yep,
run our
all
scouting
good.
program. We enrolled them in Cub Scouts here in our neighborhood, and we never thought in a million years we would be the ones running the program, but it turned out to be an amazing experience. Why be a leader? Well, I hope to inspire these boys and girls to do great things, to teach them self-esteem, to be proud of who they are, and to push them to be their very best selves. I can be someone stable that will always be there for them and teaching them the values that Cub Scouting promotes. When somebody asks me how I'm doing or how are the kids, it takes me a little bit of time to explain because unlike most people, I have 25 kids to brag about. So sometimes I might get a little overexcited and continue to talk about Scouts. The best leaders are ones that get down and play with the kids. They're silly and they earn their trust and form fulfilling relationships.
All right, high five. High five. You guys ready? Yeah? All right, let's go.
I can encourage my Scouts to try new things and make learning fun.
Let's go.
Community service is a huge part of our program. Having children provide service to others at a young age can teach them humility and empathy for others.
What's community service? Helping out others? What else is it? Helping our community. Why do we do it?
Just stay healthy.
Keep our community healthy? Yeah, that's a great idea.
The life lessons and adventures our Scouts are going on will stay with them through adulthood. Children that go through the Scouting program will have more opportunities for advancements as adults. We're setting them up for success in their future. Children in the Cub Scout program learn positive social skills, how to work together, and important problem-solving skills. I truly believe in the program that B.S.A offers. When we recruit for our pack, it's not at a booth or it's not at a table, it's out in the community. Our kids go back to school and it's all by word of mouth. They talk about how much fun they're having and the new things they're doing and the adventures that they're going on. We're really building our community. As a leader, I play an important role in keeping Scouting traditions alive. Things like camping, the Rain Spot Regatta, the Pinewood Derby, Blue and Gold Banquet, singing silly songs and doing skits are very important to Scouting, and it's my job as a leader to keep passing those traditions down to younger Scouts that are yet to come. When people find out that I'm a Scout, sometimes it throws them a little off guard, but then usually they have a story of their own. Oh yeah, I was a Scout when I was little, and we did this or we did that, and it was the best time of my life. So I'm hoping to provide that for our kids so that when they grow up to be adults, they'll have these amazing stories of these awesome adventures that they've gone on.
To Scout or not to Scout?
Scout!
Will you support me?
All right, thank you, Dwayne.
Hi, I'm Corey Durr, the Lion.
You're welcome.
All right, that video was great. For as Dwayne will get into as he's pulling up the slides here. That kind of gives a good overview of the kinds of people and the kinds of activities that we are supporting from doing fundraising efforts like this. Again, I'll talk about it a little bit more as we get into it, but pretty much that gets into why we're doing this. The Tenton is one of our larger fundraising events as a council, as far as we're concerned, not as much as it's a little bit separate from doing like, the door-to-door popcorn sales that I remember doing as a scout. But as far as we're concerned, it's one of our bigger fundraising efforts. So it's definitely a very important thing to get into. And again, like the video that Dwayne just showed, there are a lot of scouts and a lot of activities that the scouts do that depend on efforts like this to get fundraising. Our goal this year, similar to last year, is $40,000. Dwayne, do you remember exactly how much we raised last year at our event? You told it to me the other week, but I'm horrible at my memory.
Yeah, you know what? I should have written that down. I think it was 47,000.
Okay, that sounds about right. So great on trend. I know the year before we also beat our goal. So I want to keep that trend going this year strong. In fact, I kind of hope that we can get to a point where we can start upping the goal once every few years. So hopefully this will be the first year of that. Similar again to last year, we will be doing the event, or I should say holding the event live and through Zoom. So we'll be doing an in-person section for anyone who would like to join and attend in person at the Hawk Mountain Scout Resort there, as well as live broadcasted through Facebook Live. And just so you know, I believe we have 21 tenters this year. All those tenters and any additional ones will receive a special tenter patch that you can see. That I believe is last year's design. We have a new design being drawn up now, and that will be received for those tenters once the event begins.
That's correct. And I'll add on to what Nick just shared about our goal. This effort has raised over $130,000 in 3 years for the Hawk Mountain Council. So, that's an impressive amount considering what the event is. So we really appreciate all of our tenters and the work that they do. So I think this is my section, and I'm gonna try to. Yeah, I can replace the spotlight. Hopefully you can see me as I'm, talking about this screen here, but it's a simple process. We don't lock people in actual tents. It's a virtual tent. You'll see the backgrounds that Nick and myself and Davis have on, and I'll send that to you for your Zoom calls. Although Zoom calls are a little less frequent for meetings and events anymore, but you can utilize it. And I have a banner for a Facebook page and things like that, and I will get it out to everybody after this meeting. But the process is we set a goal. I will, once you've set a goal and you give me a few words, and we'll talk about that in a second. You reach out to friends, family, coworkers, business contacts, scouting contacts, and ask them if they will support you. And you can do it a number of different ways. You can say, hey, would you support scouting? And I'm locked in my tent, and until I reach my goal, I can't get back out on the trail. And my goal is $1,000, and whatever your goal is, if it's 250, if it's $5,000, whatever that is, and you let people know, through email, calls, and things like that. We'll set up a fundraising page for you. I'm going to do a real quick new share here. Right here. So here's a sample tent-in page. This happens to be one that I put together. I use a lot of the same format from year after year. And it's this second paragraph here. I've been involved in scouting since I was 8 years old. that we ask you to customize. The rest of it's boilerplate. You don't have to come up with it. Although if you want to add different words into the page, you certainly can. I've once again agreed to participate in the fourth annual tent-in. I'll be locked in my tent until I reach my goal of $1,000. And you can send this link out to friends, family, as I said, scouting contacts, business contacts, and ask them to go to this page and make a gift. They can make a cash gift and meaning by credit card right on here, and they can also do a pledge on here. So you have that opportunity. Back to my slides. Okay. On November 17th, that's a Friday night, we're asking our tenters, to join us at camp. You can join us for the evening, you can camp overnight with us, or you can come in virtually. We'll do a program. It'll last about an hour. It's what we've typically lasted in the past. We try to interview each one of our tenters, find out what your scouting story is. And it's a rah-rah, we've got our goal, hey, Mandy's hit another, milestone in towards her goal, whatever that might be. For those that want to stay overnight, they can camp. We'll do a breakfast the next morning. We'll have some program. But if you just want to do it virtually, we'll do it on our end, on the tenter side of things. We're going to do it on a Zoom call, both from camp and then wherever you're at. For those that are watching it, and we'll invite people to watch our event, they'll be able to watch it on YouTube Live. Is what we've been doing over the past couple of years. And you can see that's on here. Events at Hawk Mountain Scout Reservation, we haven't nailed it down. It kind of depends on how many people want to come up and spend the night and camp with us. The last time we camped up there, we had half a dozen folks that joined us for the evening. We did a Dutch oven. What did Steve Hoffman cook? I think it was a cherry cobbler or something along those lines. And we had breakfast, and that was kind of what we did. This year we'll expand it depending on who's coming up and the type of activities they want to do. Saturday morning we can open up the range and open up the zip line if we've got some people that are coming up. So make it a little fun up there. So that's how it'll work.
Awesome. And I'll take back over from you, Dwayne. Thank you very much. So some of you might be wondering, so what kind of tools? I know Dwayne kind of went over a few of them briefly, to kind of push people to, or kind of guide people into fundraising, or that might help you into getting more attention towards your fundraising page. Again, Dwayne mentioned the fundraising page that we just showed you. So if you would like, as a tenter, please provide your information to Dwayne, and he will set up that page for you. As you mentioned, again, the pledges and the payments are there on the same page. It's a really nice interface. I know when I set mine up last year, I had a lot of the people who donated say that the process is really simple. They've had like fundraising pages in the past where there's a lot of different places they get kind of lost, but this one is very streamlined, very nice to work with. And again, credit card or any kind of payment can be used there, so it's pretty simple. Social media is a good way to get some kind of traffic to your page. I know me personally, I used Facebook. I used LinkedIn a lot. I know like a lot of people, especially my age, and like a lot of the people that I work with and worked with in the past use LinkedIn. So that was a good way to get a lot of connections there. And then, emailing personal donors or possible donors, if you have that kind of personal relationship with people, it's a good way to get it. And then also, for some of my events, I should say my meetings, for work, I might kind of toss, depending on what the meeting is, I might toss the same exact Zoom background that you see on here for those work meetings, just to kind of get people asking questions about what I'm doing, just to get a little attention that way.
Right. And we'll provide you in the email that I sent out for the kickoff. There was a little draft, or maybe I guess that was just for the fundraising page. I apologize. We'll send out a draft email and the Zoom background out to everybody. This is a sample of the fundraising page that was in the email. And as you can see, you know, we replace, you know, where it's yellow, you know, welcome to, you know, insert tentor name, you know, Nick's tent-in page. Thousands of youth each year. I've been in scouting, and it's your own story. I would recommend that you don't use more than a couple of sentences here, but you can expand it depending on the people that you talk to as much as you want. You insert your goal. You know, we talk a little bit about the scout reservation, so some of it's boilerplate. We don't need you. We don't want you to have to think about, oh, how do I draft this fundraising page? It's pretty much set up for you. But again, if you want to customize it a little bit more than what we have here, we're open to it. You just need to provide me that information, and I will build the page from there.
Yeah, and one thing to keep in mind is, you know, kind of this is a very Dwayne likes to say that this is a pure fundraising event, but it doesn't mean that we can't have fun with it. And I think that's probably one of the better ways to go about it through that lens. So, you know, you can have competitions, whether it be, you know, kind of like a personal competition or a personal challenge, or a competition between you and some other tenters. You know, whoever can raise the most money, so and so, have some kind of reward system based on that. Or set it as like a challenge or milestone system where, you know, if I reach my goal, or I reach, you know, half my goal, 25%, so on and so forth. You can kind of have different challenges and rewards based on that as well.
I'm going to stop the share here and open it up to see if there are any questions or thoughts. I think Mandy's the only one that's brand new to this. I do have a chat in.
Yeah, but I've heard a lot of information, so I kind of knew what I was getting into.
And I have a question here from the new guy that is going to speak on, you know, he doesn't even know that he's going to speak yet, but he's going to speak here in a minute here. He says, when can I build my personal page and have it go public? Well, Davis, that's a great question. I hope to start having pages built within the next couple of days. So tomorrow afternoon, I can build some of them as soon as I get the information. For those that have been tenters in the past, and if you want me just to use a lot of the same information, I can go in and cut that paragraph out and you know, build it really quick. And you can have it go public as soon as I send you the link. You know, so within the next week, you'll have that information along with the draft email. I find that you know, talking to people personally, and maybe I'll throw this over to Tom after I make my comment here, is powerful. You know, when I'm out on the golf course with my buddies, I say, hey, listen, I'm doing this tent in again. I could really use your support. Oh, okay, yeah, that'd be great. And then you know, the next day I send them an email with the link in it. So Tom's been our record setter over the past couple of years in reaching out to folks and setting the pace for our tent-ins in the past. Tom, any thoughts on, you know, reaching out to your folks?
Yeah, I mean, I think, you know, part of it is just being an ambassador for scouting kind of all the time. So when people know that you're connected to a program, have a passion for a program, the fact that you reach out and say you're raising some funds for that program, you know, not that they're expecting you to ask them for money, but I think that making that connection has allowed me to obviously, you know, raise a decent amount of money each year, because and now that I've done it for 3 years, I think people are expecting. Obviously, there's a couple of people that, you know, cycle off every year, but I always look to add some new names to my list as well. But you know, it's just I think when you have a passion for something, it's easy in my opinion, it's easy to ask for money for it. And don't worry if people say no. I mean, you know, obviously you don't ask them again next year, you know. But I think there's nothing wrong with someone saying no. You know, you can say, hey, no problem. Thanks for considering it. I appreciate you listening to me or whatever. But you know, there's no harm in asking. Of course, I do get asked to give to other people occasionally, which is just part of the process. But that's okay as well. So, but again, I just think just don't be afraid to ask people. They can say no, and I think that's okay. And to be honest, even if you want to caveat your ask with, hey, no problem if you say no, but I just want to throw it out there. I'm doing this to raise funds for something that I really believe in, and then they say no, that's okay.
Good words. Thanks, Tom.
Yep.
Other questions?
Actually, one question I have. So I've not been a huge social media person. So for anybody who's used like Facebook to do this, is it just like, do you actually just then link, like within Facebook, does it link to your tent page? Is that how it works? Okay.
Yeah. So Dwayne will send out, once you send him your personal information, they'll send you back like a link, like a hyperlink. All you have to do is you can write whatever, if you're on Facebook per se, you can write a post with whatever like blurb that you want, and then just copy that link and just put it in that same post, and then they don't have to go to a separate page or anything. They just click on that, tap on that, whatever, and it'll just take them straight there. So nothing,
Okay.
you don't have to do anything crazy. Just copy that link and put it wherever you want.
Okay. Yeah, my goal this year is just to reach out to a lot of people that I was in scouting with as a youth that, you know, I don't see them very often, but you know, hey, it's a group that I really haven't reached out to very often through my normal means. So it might be an option this year.
Yeah. And you can also text it to them as well. Like if that's like something else works, wherever you can type in text, it'll work there.
Yep. Wonderful. Okay. Davis, could you share a few words of wisdom for us and words of welcome? I put you on just for that.
Well, thank you all for allowing me to join you. Some of you, this is the first time I've had the opportunity to meet you. Many of you I've gotten to know over the last couple of months. I'm so glad to be a part of the Hawk Mountain Council, joining and serving as your Scout executive. And I just have to take my hat off and give a big kudos to Dwayne for looking at innovative approaches for how we can engage our community, and give a big heartfelt thanks to Nick for providing the volunteer leadership for us to drive forward with this. As mentioned, this event has raised in the last 3 years over $100,000 going back to support the youth in our community. And that is just a phenomenal return to our youth and to our scouting program. And so I'm deeply grateful to all of you and to the donors that help us out and support us here. I will be participating. I have every intent to participate. I challenged some of our board members to join the party also. And when we hit a critical mass of our board members, I will be participating. I've got it blocked on my calendar. I have every faith and confidence that it'll take place. And I wholly intend to be sleeping at the Scout Reservation for this event. I'll be out there overnight, and I'm hoping that I can be a major contributor to support what we are doing. As I mentioned, I'll give the mic back in just a second, I swear. As mentioned earlier, this is the kind of fundraiser where it can be done peer-to-peer and through social media and different avenues like that. And so the fact that I'm new in town, I've only been here for a couple of months, yeah, it's going to slow me down a little bit on my ability to rustle up some donors. But at the same time, it means that everybody I'm speaking to is someone who's not on everyone else's hit list yet. So I encourage you to reach out. I like Tom's approach of going with folks that he scouted with in his youth. I'm going to be visiting with friends and campers of mine from years gone by, and I think we can have a huge impact with folks that otherwise would not engage or participate. So, Nick, Dwayne, thank you both very much.
Thank you.
So, Nick, any parting words?
No, just I'm excited to be a part of this again and to host again. Looking forward to fundraising with you guys this year.
Yeah, and I guess one last thing. Again, thank you. We appreciate it. I will be as we get further into this and closer to our event, we'll get out regular reports out to everybody so that you know when dollars have come in. We have spreadsheet that allows us to track this, and it's not in real time, meaning as soon as a contribution comes in, you'll get a notification of it, but within a couple of days, you'll get a notification so that who has given to you. And as we get closer, those reports and that I send out to you individually and to the group will get closer together. So you'll have that information, and you can reach out and say, hey, Tom, thanks for the gift, I appreciate it. So you have that information. Wonderful. Well, thank you. And that's all we have. We wanted to keep it short, and we've recorded this, so we'll put it up on our website, and we'll send it out to the other folks that couldn't make it tonight.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you all.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
Evening, everyone.